Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity character showcase, and today we're going to be looking at Prince Sidon, the darling of 2017, and he's back, and arguably one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. He does everything so well, he has a decent damage output, and his ability to constantly force out weak point gauge is something that should not be slept on. It's really, really deadly how his abilities work together, as long as you just properly mash the action button as much as you can. So the thing about Sidon is that his particular moveset revolves around the use of the Boundless Optimism mechanic. What this does is that a prompt will appear during his combos if you press the right bumper at the right time. You're going, or I guess we can call them triggers. Is that what the kids call them? We'll call them the right trigger, because that's kind of what they resemble. I think bumper is the other one. But yes, you use the right trigger to activate the ability, and it will augment his attacks. It makes them much more powerful. Depending on what the string is, I think some of them even give him iframes. It's insanely good. And the thing about Sidon is that all of his abilities is that when it ends, sometimes you'll be prompted at the very end of the combo string, which lets him use his Boundless Optimism to make him immune to knockback resistance. It's really, really, really good, and honestly, the thing that makes Sidon stand out so well is how easily he can just force momentum in his favor no matter what. This is especially apparent in his combo 5. His combo 5 is really, really nice, but if you augment it properly, then what's going to happen is you'll create this giant, like, whirlpool. It went into the wall, but trust me, there's a whirlpool, and it forces them into a weak point gauge stun, stopping them from doing any attacks. It's very similar to how it was with, like, King Rome and Hestu, where they have an ability that just forces them out of the weak point gauge just by virtue of the combo 5 working that way. But with Sidon, the fact that he can do that and then force them in a scenario where he can immediately use the Boundless Optimism to get himself back to the ground, and then doing a combo 6, each hit of the combo 6 also wears down the weak point gauge really, really, really fast. He's the kind of character that he doesn't necessarily need ginormous setups to create weak point gauge breaks in one combo, because each of his combos, by virtue of how they work, will activate combos. All of his different stasis runes, all of his different Sheikah runes, stasis works pretty normal, as you would expect. Activates relatively quick in comparison to, like we did Teba. Teba had a bit of a delay, so did, like, Sheikah Slate Zelda, King Rome. It does activate relatively quickly, and also there's the bomb, which has a really fun baseball minigame to it. But with the stasis, it does lock him into an animation, but thankfully you can dodge cancel out of that. They did a really good job making this character. He's really, really solid, and to be honest, anyone that wants a really strong character as soon as possible, you definitely want to look into getting this guy. But let me just show you. I mean, ugh, gross. He's really gross in pretty much any scenario. Like, he can clear very, very well. Everything he does so well. Do a combo 6 real quick. Granted, the weapon that I have is quite powerful as well, so it is going to break through really quickly. But again, for the most part though, because, like, if you were to augment with different, like, weak point gauge, not weak point gauge, attack speed increases, so many options that he has available on him. You know, I'm going to let this one slide just so I can show you. I can show you the combo 5. Okay, here we go. So again, the combo 5 to bring him out. And you can just lock him in place if your attack speed is fast enough. It's really, really good. Again, Boundless Optimism, you can just continue on the animations. It'll prevent you from getting knocked back the majority of the time. He's definitely the kind of character that can lock him down no matter what you do. And even if you miss the combo, like, I just wanted to show you the combo 5, but even if you end up doing a combo 6 by mistake, that's still in your favor. Oh man, I've been whiffing. The thing about the combo 6 though is that you do need to be targeting the enemy for it to lock them down. But the moment you have them in your sights though, you're going to interrupt anything that they do. It's really, really deadly. And, like, you'll have no problems, that's the thing. Like, even if his abilities didn't have those special abilities to force out the weak point gauge, the fact that his abilities are so strong that they can even break weak point gauge on their own is more than enough to kind of sell him as a good character. It was very fantastic. The only thing I would say is bad is that if you're up against an enemy that can react in time, if you're up against like the relatively faster enemies, then maybe his ability to avoid flinching with his Boundless Optimism, he'll rack up damage really quickly without you even noticing it. It's not like with Two-Handed Link, where you can just armor through the abilities and then heal it back with the press of a button. You have to be very careful with how you do that with Sidon. But I think that's really the only downside to this character. There's so much about this character that he has going for him. You could tell that whoever designed and made this character, it's a mix between him being super popular in the fan base and just the fact they just like this character so much that they want to make him so good. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on, and we're going to continue on the trend that we have by going to the stage I showed off in the Mipha showcase. So let's have a look. Okay, so it turns out that the Mipha level that I looked at for the Mipha showcase is actually an exclusive mission for her. I totally forgot about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Fiercest of Foes. This is one of the most challenging maps in the game, which is fine because we're going to be playing as Sidon. So the thing I want to point out about Sidon's weapon, I've maxed it out to level 30. I've gone all out for attack speeds. The faster I can do the combo 5 and 6, the better, in my opinion. And damage is something that can easily be attained regardless, just because he's so good at bringing out the weak point gauge. Something I forgot to add is that when you do the weak point gauge exposures from a combo 5 and 6, you can actually dodge cancel out of them, so yeah, it's just a mash fest with this guy. It's crazy good. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, fight against the Fiercest of Foes. I think it's just a Lionel killing spree, I think it is. I hope it's not like 2 Lionels at once, that'll be crazy. Sidon can do it. He's fine. Not with that attitude. Nuh-uh-uh. Gotta use that Boundless Optimism. Now, I seem to recall that this is the one that had, like, the insanest of frame rate issues, so we're gonna have fun with that, I think. Here we go. Oh, we already got hit. This bodes well. Okay. So the thing is, like I said, you can dodge cancel out of the combo 5 and then continue on again as that torrent of water that he creates. The torrents of water that he creates will result in being able to hit the weak point gauge for even more with your regular attacks. So the annoying thing about this particular map is that there are Lizalfos everywhere, and the thing about Lizalfos, no matter what element they are, obviously electric tends to be the worst one, but no matter where they are and what element they have, they tend to just do so much damage because of how easily they can stop you. Here we go, break this real quick. Up against a Lionel, I think the combo 6, because it hits so often, that we could probably just get away with, yeah. We have so much attack speed that we'll just constantly create some giant area of effect attacks. So as long as we don't drop any combos, which is the easiest thing in the world, then we should be able to be just fine, keep ourselves safe. Establish that offensive presence. Combo 6 spam, here we go. Run him out of his land. If they jump back, that gives us even more time. The trouble with Lionels is that because of how easily they can react to your attacks, like the moment they break out of weak stun, then they immediately go on the offensive, which is very tricky, but thankfully we've stacked quite a bit of attack speed on my weapon that this should carry us through. I want to finish this combo just for that extra damage boost. If this kills, the door will open. And this is what I meant when I said that there's a lot of issues with the frame rate, because all these Lizalfos will fire off immediately, and I'm just going to go ahead and use a special. We're here for that. What's it going to be? Oh, okay. I was thinking that maybe I could just use the Cryonis at close range, but apparently not. Here we go. As long as you can lock yourself into that combo 6, and then you'll hit them at least once, then you'll stop whatever it is that they're doing. That's what makes Sidon so potent. There's the other one. Oh no, I dropped it again. That's okay. As long as you have your cooldowns, then it's okay to make those kinds of mistakes. It's great though. So yeah, you can also just dodge cancel your combo 5s if that helps. Stop him, stop whatever he's doing. And you also, yeah, you get some nice iframes to go along with that as well. He's just so solid as a character, I love it. Even if his weak point smashes don't do as much as I'd like, but because of just how easily you can create weak point gauge, it does not matter nearly as much. Like, I'm already having an easier time clearing out. I remember early on when I got this game, I did this particular map, and I was playing as Claymore Link, and the amount of challenge that involved there, because it takes a bit of time before he can start ramping up his abilities. We don't need to get this, well, we might as well get this, why not? Showcase a little bit of his wave clear. Like, his combo 6 is the one size fits all, it does everything. It only does everything. Oh, please don't sue me. Nintendo's gonna hear that, they're gonna be like, oh no, they're quoting that company. Although they don't use that quote anymore, do they? Anyways, once this guy is loose... Oh, he's focused on Mifa, perfect. And I can easily pull out my combos. I don't even think we need to go for... We don't even need to go for weak point gauge smashes, because that's just how much damage this weapon does as well. Okay, so from my understanding, based on looking at the map, there's going to be 2 Lionels we're fighting against. Great. Honestly, I don't mind restarting from checkpoint, it's just that the checkpoint's so far away, and I know in the interest of saving time, we'll just quickly get past all these Lizalfos. Like I mentioned earlier, Lizalfos are super annoying because they'll just stop you, and they'll do so much damage. Not because they're like constantly doing big hits on you, it's just a ton of little hits. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not because they do giant hits, it's because they're constantly hitting you with smaller hits. And because we're playing on very hard difficulty, that's quite a bit. 2 Malice Lionels, what a treat! What a value! Again, stasis this. Okay, combo 4, wait, 6, sorry. This is the combo 6. Again, interrupt them, whatever they're doing. Since we broke both weak point gauges, we're going to hit them both for a fair amount of damage. Oh, this is a scary situation. But that's okay. We've built quite a bit of special meter from this. Did I get both of them? Yep. Okay, time for the combo 6. Who has less? Focus on the guy that has less so that you can remove him from the equation a little bit faster. Wait for that guy to come in with the charge from the left. Stasis. And then do that combo 6. Yeah, baseball bat. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no. We're fine. We're fine. I missed so badly. I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I forgot that there was like some timing that you have to do, but then I saw he was about to fire, and I was like, is it too late? But then I remembered that he's invincible for the duration of that attack. Oh, that was heated. That was intense. Anyways, just use the combo 6. You get a little bit of invincibility whenever he sort of like does that little teleport. Okay, now, the next... That is a checkpoint, though, so again, if we ever end up needing to restart, we're good. We're up against an Ice Moblin, and I think that's the only enemy here, yeah. Again, if you're up against one enemy, that's not a problem. Okay. Like, it's basically just a mash fest. Every option that Sidon has with his combos is really good. Oh, I was thinking of doing something else. Okay, we have a quarter heart, but that's okay. That's more than enough. As long as we have that quarter heart, then we're gonna live. Oh, man, but I can just imagine those Zalfos just sneaking in out of nowhere. Ruining my day. Here we go. Okay, we have to focus very quickly here. As long as we have that one, we can interrupt everything that this Lionel does with enough attack speed, so that's good. Again, activate it as soon as possible, wasting very little time. Go for that weak point. If we need a stasis for emergency, then we can do that. There we go, stopping him again. And then, yeah, just keeping him locked down. It's crazy good. Maybe you don't even need to dodge cancel if your attack speed is high enough. Okay, that's another checkpoint under our belt. And we're down to the last Lionel. I hope this was enough range. Should be. Okay, here we go. Get some free damage in. I hope you guys can see this. I think that's really the other complaint that I have about Sidon, is the fact that the camera angles go crazy with this guy. Oh, there we go. Not okay, so I guess not fast enough for those guys. Can we do it again? Oh yeah. Ooh, there's okay. So we're gonna have to redo that one fight. You know what? Just for you guys, let's just burn some food. Why not? Use a couple of that food, and just be very, very careful with how we do this. If we want, we can even just use a fire rod. It's not that big of a deal. Now let's go. Interrupt. I was thinking, well, maybe we don't have enough time, but because, again, we have such high attack speed, it should be okay. Here we go. Might as well burn that meter because we're surrounded by so many people as it is. Stasis for some free damage. Give us a little bit more breathing room. E-point smash, and then immediately go back to that old lockdown. Against the dual blader, I guess. I think my mistake was that I didn't do it soon enough. I just didn't initiate it soon enough. Uh-oh, that was a mistake. I should have done something else. That's okay. Again, just activate it. Because of how much range it has, too, if they get hit by those blades of water that extend so far out, you're still gonna land it. Here we go, go for some more. Again, locking them down. The moment you see them in the air, start mashing that strong attack button. And then once you see them start landing, then that's when you want to start mashing the trigger. It's so well done. You know what, let's test that theory right now. If the Lionel Club is not as fast as the dual swords, because I expect it to not be, that's the thing. Freeze? Yes. Okay. Bit of margin for error here, which is good. Perfect. Now we got him right where we need him, and we have plenty of health under our belt to make a difference. Let's see if this works. Yes, it does. Okay. We have the advantage here. And again, if he's going to jump back, that's even more advantage for us. And then the moment this ends, again, it's just a mash fest. And we are 110% here for it. Look at this guy go. You probably don't even need to use a special. Oh, wow. That is crazy. I love it. Yep, didn't even need to use a special that time. Did it completely unscathed against the Silver Lionel in the rematch. The salty run back. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about Sidon, though. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you watched this far in the video, it's pretty self-explanatory just how solid this character is. Perhaps, I don't know, I haven't really been following the overall, like, community discourse. I tend to stay away from that stuff because I don't want to be accused of plagiarizing, and that's basically my alibi. But I feel like this particular character is up there as one of the absolute best characters. Granted, the range for what's considered a effective or good character isn't as big as you'd think it would be. But I think overall, though, Sidon definitely a solid pick, and for people that want to progress easily as they fight against the bosses and the much more difficult enemies, really the only downsides I can think about Sidon is, yeah, if you're not fast enough, even though he can just not flinch, you will still take fair amounts of damage on very hard. I think fighting against the final boss of this game doesn't give you as much breathing room. Like, that one attacks really fast and reacts really quickly after breaking out of the stun. But yeah, if you guys are looking for one of the best characters in the game, I think that would be Sidon. Anyways, guys, thank you very, very much for joining me for today's showcase, and as usual, I will see you guys next time. We're going to be looking at one more spoiler character, one of the most fun characters in the game, in my opinion. I was really surprised when I found out how fun this character was, so I hope you guys look forward to that one. Till then, take care.